Hi everybody, good to be talking to you again. We've had an interesting couple of days. On Sunday, Pastor Wayne Alcorn, our national president, held a Zoom prayer meeting with 4,500 people. It was inspiring. During that time, the Prime Minister asked if he could pray, and he did. He addressed the people on Zoom and really encouraged us. And then he prayed for the nation, but what touched me was he prayed for other nations as well. God has given us an amazing Prime Minister, and I'm looking at him speaking and thinking, this man could go down as one of the great Prime Ministers of Australia. We need to get behind him. I'm going to encourage you, forget politics. This isn't about politics. You need to get behind our Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, and pray for him. Pray for his strength, pray for his health, pray for God's wisdom to touch him, pray that his life will be a blessing for this nation as it has been and will be in the future. But the Bible calls on us to support those in authority by giving them encouragement. And I want to encourage you to do that for Scott Morrison. He's a good man, and I know he's a committed Christian, and to hear him pray was just inspiring. The other thing I came across, a friend sent me a Facebook connection for a prophecy from a lady named Cindy Jacobs. Cindy is an American lady. She's a prophet. She gives tremendous prophecies, and they've been proved to be accurate. And she's given a prophecy for Australia, and it's just wonderful. And I'm going to put it up on our Facebook page for you to see and to encourage yourself. But she talks about the future of Australia and that this country has a Joseph anointing on it, but I won't reveal any more. I'll just encourage you to have a look at it for yourself. You see, in all these times, God knows what's going on. In fact, I'd like to suggest, but you can have your opinion, of course, that God put Scott Morrison in as Prime Minister and his government to lead us through the COVID-19 crisis, because God knew it was coming. It was not a surprise for God. And so he's provided for us. And that comes out of a lot of prayer that went in prior to that election last year in May. And we need to keep praying that our country may be a blessing to other nations. I don't want Australia to be an isolated and an insulated nation that just says us and no more. We're not going to spend any money overseas. Let them all look after themselves. No, we want to have a much more generous attitude than that and to reach out to other countries. And so encourage yourself with these things. Listen to what Scott Morrison has to say, particularly if he says it in a Christian sphere, and then have a look at the prophecy by Cindy Jacobs. I think you're going to be greatly encouraged by that. And so until I speak to you again, God bless you, keep encouraged, keep being inspired, and certainly inspire others. Bye for now.